Okay, students, I hope you are all well and healthy and ready to learn the new things. So, my name is Palak Patel. I'm working in the Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari, in Civil Engineering Department. I am going to teach you the subject is design of reinforced concrete structure. In this lecture, we will learn wind load calculation on the building. So shall we start? Okay students, we are going to calculate a wind load on a building. Okay, so first example is a multi-story building. A multi-story building 20 mm by 30 mm in a plan. You can see it's a 20 mm and 30 mm, right? Height of building is 30 meter. Height of building is fixed. It's a 30-meter height. Okay. Bay width 5 meter in the both direction. You can see 5 meter, both direction. Story height 5 meter at ground floor and 4 meter at one floor. Okay. That means 5 meter at a ground floor and above height. Means first floor, second floor, third floor. All the floor height is 4 meter. Right. Now this building is location in Surat and category is 3. Building category is 3. Topography plane with upwind slope less than 3 degree. Life of building is 100 years. Now we have to determine a wind load acting on the internal frame at node points. At node points. So what is node points? Node points means a building beam and column junction, right? Look at here is a column, here is a beam is called a junction, and this beam is this junction is called a node point. So we have to find out wind load at a node point. We have to calculate wind load at a node point. Okay, so let's start. First is a design wind speed. First we have to find out design wind speed. Design wind speed is Vz, and Vz equation is Vb into K1 into K2 into K3. Okay, so in this example we are going to find out design wind speed, means acting wind pressure on the building. For the calculate this type of load, we will use one IS code. This IS code is 875 part 3. Here IS 875 part 3. Right? So let's check this IS code. Here's the content. Any other thing is not more important. Terminology. Basic wind speed and design wind speed. We have a two definition here. First is a basic wind speed. Here, wind speed map of India is applicable up to 10 meter height above main ground level for a different zone of the country. Means a basic wind speed is a speed, average wind speed at some locality, which is applicable at 10 meter height from the ground level, right? And this basic wind speed is changed at every location. So for the basic wind speed we have one graph is here. Yeah, you look at here, it's a map. You can determine the basic wind speed by this map. This map is not very clear because it's just a scan data. So but we have one table here which is called appendix 1. Let's check this page. basic wind speed at 10-meter height for the some important city and town. When we got it from appendix E. You can see here is Ahmedabad, basic wind speed 39 meter per second. Here is a Bhuj, basic wind speed 50. Bombay 44. Coimbatore 39. Delhi 47. Hyderabad 44. Jaipur 47. Right? Jhansi 47. Madras 50. Patna 47. Nasik 39. Surat 44. Vadodara 44. Vijayawada 50. Rukri 39. Right? So by this appendix A we can find out a basic wind speed. Here is the design wind speed. Design wind speed, the basic wind speed for any site shall be obtained from figure 1 and shall be modified to include the following effect to get a designed velocity at any height. Means a basic wind speed Vp is multiplied by risk level, terrain roughness and local topography, and we got design wind speed. So here is equation. Vz is equal to Vb into K1 into K2 into K3. So what is Vz? Vz is a design wind speed. Okay, we have to find out design wind speed. Then after K1 is probability factor, K2 is terrain and height structure, and K3 is topography factor. Okay, and Vb is a basic wind speed. So first we need a basic wind speed, right? Basic wind speed from the appendix A, and which we have location. First of all we have to find out location of the building is a Surat. Location of the building is Surat. So Surat is a 44. So Vb is 44. You can see here. Vb 44 from appendix A or map of India. Right? We found a Vb, but we have to find out K1, K2 and K3. So let's go for the K1. So K1 is probability factor from the 5.3.1. Risk coefficient, we call this as a risk coefficient. Risk coefficient we can find out from the table number 1. Table number 1. Risk coefficient for the different classes of structure in a different wind speed zone. Right? So classes of structure. But here is a main probable design life of the structure in a year. Life of a structure in a year. So first we need a life of a structure is a 10 year, 100 year. Okay, life of a structure is 100 year. So for the 100 year, okay, and K1 factor is depend on the basic wind speed. Basic wind speed. So which one is basic wind speed? 44. So we have 44 basic wind speed here. So by this table we can say K1 is 1.07. K1 is 1.07. Okay, next we have find out the K2. For the K2 we are going to table number 2 here. Factor to obtain design wind speed variation in the height in the different terrain for the different classes of the building and structure. Right? So first we need a height. We need a height of the building is 30 meter. Okay, height of the building is 30 meter. And then after terrain category and class. So let's check if there is a given terrain category. Category 3 is given. Okay, they write category 3. So okay, category 3 is given, so let's check terrain category 3 here. Terrain category 3 is given. Category is given. But here is a category A, B and C. So what is A, what is B and what is C? There is some data here. Class A, class B and same as a class C. Is class A, class B and class C is depend on the height of the building. Less than 20 meter means class A. Between 20 and 50 class B, and greater than 50 class C. So height of the building is dependent here, okay, and we have a height of the building is 30 meter. So 30 meter means class B. So let's go class B here. Okay, for the 10, same for the 50, 20 and 30. For the K2 we have to find out all the value, means for the 10 0.88, for the 15 0.94, for the 20 0.98 and for the 30 1.03, right? So let's write down here 10 is 0.80, right? We found the K2 value from the table 2. Next we found the K3 topography factor, K3, okay. Okay, for the K3 we have to close 5.3.1, 5.3.3, 5.3.31. Yeah. The effect of topography will be significant at a site where the upwind slope is greater than 3 degree and below that value K3 may be taken to equal to 1. So by this line we can say if upwind slope is greater than 3, the value will be changed. But here is K3 upwind force is less than 3, the K3 may be taken as 1. Okay, this simple phenomena here. Okay, so we have the value is less than 3, so K3 is 1. K3 is 1, simple. Upwind slope we will discuss in the next example. Okay, but here they give the upwind slope is less than 3, so K3 value is 1. If upwind slope is greater than 3, the value will be changed, right? And I made a one table here: height, basic wind speed, K1, K2, K3, Vz, this equation, and here is a PD, 0.6 Vz square. Is PD is a design wind pressure, 0.6 Vz square, right? For the height 10 meter, VP 44, K1 1.07, K2 0.88, K3 is 1. So multiply all the values, we found 41.43 and 0.6 into Vz, we found 1030, right? Same data for the 15, 20 and 30. Just multiply all the things by this equation. Okay, we got all the equation from the IS 875 part 3, so we don't need to worry about it. Right now, design wind load. We have to find out load on the nodal area. So there is the equation: F is equal to CF AE into PD, CF AE into PD. So IS 875 part 3 clause number 6.3, IS 875 part 3 clause number 6.3, 6.2 here. Here is a 6.3. Okay, 6 point. Six point three point two, 6.3.1, 6.3. Force coefficient. Here is equation F CFA into PA. F is a force acting in a direction specified in the respective tables. CF is a force coefficient for the building. So by this equation we can find out CFAE and PD. Okay, force coefficients. So let's check. Okay, yeah. We have one table here. Yeah. So this table is used for the find out CF value. You can see here is a graph. I just put it in the table. Okay. So here is the first value of CF versus AB. What is AB and what is H by B? AB means a plan area shorter span divided by longer span, and elevation shorter span divided by height. Okay. So A and B value we find it from the plane of the building. From the plane of the building. Right? So A and B means a ratio between two dimensions, shorter span divided by longer span. So A is a 20 meter, B width is a 30 meter, and H means height 30 meter. These are the given. Okay, these things are given in the example. So 20 meter by 30 meter. So this value will be find out here. Okay, so height by width ratio, height by width, H by B is equal to 30 by 30 is 1. Okay, H by B is 1. So here is a, you can say H by B is greater or equal to 1 or H by B is lesser 1. So we have H by B is greater or equal to 1, so we have to follow this chart. Okay, we have to follow this chart. Okay, then after we will find out A by B. A by B is 20 by 30, 0.67. 0.67. So 0.5, here is 0.67. Approximate line we draw. I draw approximate line here. Okay, and H by B is 1. H by B is 1. So we have to follow this first graph here. Okay, so this is the meeting point, and by this we can say CF value is more than 1 or less than 1.5. So approximately 1.2 or 1.3 value, between 1.2 and 1.3. So CF is 1.22. 1.22. Okay, here is a CF value found out. AE is missing. AE is missing. AE means effective area. Effective area. So building is unbrushed. Okay, there are 7 row in column, 7 row of column. Here is a graph. You can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Because wind pressure is from this direction, so we have to calculate this type of number of column. Now if wind force by this direction, the other direction, they calculate this column. Okay, so first there is a 7 row of column. Okay, because wind pressure on this 7 row. So then after, since the slab will be acting as z direction because all frame are symmetrical, so length of building is 30 meter. So effective frontal area is 30 by 7, 30 by 7 into 1, 30 by 7, 30 is the span divided by 7 into 1 meter width, 1 meter height. So 4.285, there is a effective frontal area. So what we will find out on this 4.285 meter square area. Okay, only find this force on this plane only, this plane only. The loading on the frame per meter height of the wall is F. Put the all value and we will find out for the 10 meter, for the 15, 20 and 30. So PD we find out earlier, you can see here, PD pressure for the 10 meter, for the 15, 20 and 30, right? Data from this earlier data. Okay, the design 5.23 PD. Then after force means this value is Newton per mm. We have need in the kilonewton per meter. Newton per meter, kilonewton per meter, divide by 1000. So divide by 1000. Okay. Now this we have the force, and we are going to distribute the force on the all nodal area. Okay. So node are considered at a center of beam column joint. Assume overall depth of beam is 500 mm. Okay, and any node carries a wind load of a half height of upper floor and half the height of the lower floor, right? And calculation of wind force at node point. So here is a table, you can see here is a node point, here is a height, force multiplied by area, force multiplied by height. There is a node, loading level, load, nodal point load, and is force into height, force into height. So 7 by 7, you can see we have figure here. Okay, may zoom it. No, it's not possible. एक second, give me a second students. So one page. Okay, so here is a, you can see the figure is here, it's a wind force, and we got a height from here, everything. Okay, here is a 0, 5 meter height, because first story is 5 meter, second story is 4 meter. So 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 4, 30, 30 plus 4, 70, 74 plus 4, 21, 21 plus 4, 25, and 25 plus 4, 29, right? So all the flow level is fixed, but we need a center, we need a center, because first they call a, they say yeah, any node carry the wind load of the half the height of upper floor and half the height of the lower floor. So half the height from the upper floor and half the height from the lower floor. Okay, so first we have to find out half the height. So 4.75, why this 4.75? It's a node point height, 5 meter divided by 500, 5. So in the video you can see there is a PDF. The figure is not so good to visible, and that all the value we have to calculated it. So I draw one figure here. You can see here is a graph. Okay, here is a figure. So first is a ground floor here. Okay, it's a ground floor. Then after first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. Okay, G plus 7 story building we have. Now there is a 5 meter height. Okay, that's Okay. So overall building height is 30 meter. So here is a first ground floor 5 meter. It's a 4 meter. Then after 4 meter, 4 meter story height, and last one is 1. If you calculate all the data, you will find out overall story height is 30 meter. 1 meter is a parapet building. It's a 1 meter height. It's a parapet building height. Okay. Now we need one center line. Okay, center line. First of all, we write down the story height from the ground. So ground floor is story height is 0. Here is 5 meter. Here is 9 meter. Let's change the color. It's 0 meter. Then after it's 5 meter. It's 9 meter. 9 plus 4, 13. 13 plus 4, 17. Plus 4, 21, 25, 20, 29. Right? And here is 30. So this is the story height. And now we need a story height from the here. So how we calculate it? We assume a beam height is 15. Not a 15, 500. Okay. From the slab, beam height is 15. Where is a node point? Node point is at beam and column junction center. So here is a floor, right? Then after here is a beam and below one is column. So node point is center of the column, center of the beam, right? So story height is 5 meter. I can say story height is 5 meter, but node point height is 4.75. Why? 5 minus 0.5 divided by 2. So 5 minus 0.25 is equal to 4.75 meter height. 4.75 meter height. 0.5 divided by 2. 0.5 is a beam height. Beam height divided by, because the node point at the half. So at the node point, let's change the color. So here is a node point. Node height is 4.75. Same here. Same thing is here. 8.75. Same. 12.75. Here. 16.75. Yeah. 20.75. And here 24.75, and here 28.75, right? Okay, so we need this purple line diagram. Okay, so first 4.75 divided by 2. 4.75 divided by 2, so value is 2.375. let's check it here. 2.375, because here is a node point height. Okay, yeah. Okay, assume here is a 4.75 height and here is a ground floor. So wall is here, it's a wall. What we say, half of the upper node force is half from the upper and half from the lower. So 4.75 divided by 2 means we got this purple line half. So here is a 2.375 How we got 4.75 divided by 2, right? And here the second one, 8.75 plus 4.75 divided by 2 is 6.75 meter. Is 6.75 meter, right? Same thing, 12.75 plus 8.75 divided by 2 is 10.75. 10.75 plus 4, because 4 meter height, average height same, so 14.75 plus 4, 18.75 plus 4, 22.75 plus 4, 26.75, and here is a 30. Is all dimension are in meter. All the dimension are in meter, right? So this dimension is completed. You can see here. Okay. So calculation is completed. Dimension is completed. Now we will find out the load on the nodal point at where 4.75, 8.75, 12.75, 16.75, 20.75, 24.75 and 28.75. We have to find out a force on these nodal points. I hope you understand how I calculate this. Okay. Now we are going on to PDF. Shall we go? Okay students, you can see here is a table, height and force, 10 meter, 5.39, 15 meter, 6.50, 20 meter, 6.68 and 30 meter, 7.38. So this is a table. So by this table we can find a force on the center. We can find a force at the center of the wall. Okay. Now, note one line is here. For the 10 meter, the force is constant. The force is constant. So for the 10 meter, force is constant. So here is 5.39, 6 is 5.39, and 10.79 force will be changed. At the height of the 10 meter, the force will be constant, and above 10 meter, the force will be changed. Right? Now how we calculate this? So here is a find out the difference between these two, 10 and 15. So difference between 10 and 50 is 15 meter. Okay, is 5 meter difference. And difference between these two, 6.15, 6.15 minus 5.39. So here is a point 0.76, 0.76, right? So here is a difference. So for the 5 meter difference, for the 5 meter height difference, the force difference is 0.76. For the 5 meter height difference, the force difference is 0.76. But here is a difference, 10.75 minus 10. So for the 0.75 meter difference, what is the difference between the force? Okay, so 0.75 multiplied by 0.76 divided by 5, so value is 0.114, value is 0.114. So 5.39, so 10.75 is 5.39 plus 0.114. So 5.39 plus 0.114. So value is 5.504. We going to calculate where is the force? Here. 5.50 at a 10.75. Okay, same thing, same for the 14, 80, 22, right? For the 5 meter difference is 0.76, force difference is 0.76, and 40 point for the 4.75 meter difference. What is the difference? So 4.75 into 0.76 divided by 5 is 0.722. So 0.722 plus 5.39. So value is 6.112. Okay. You can find all the value by this: 6.11, 6.55, 6.87, 7.15, 6.55, 6.87, 7.15, and 7.38, and the 7.38, right? So if we find all the data here, so these are the force will actually acting on the center of the wall, right? So by this graph, by this data, we can calculate force on the nodal point, right? So 7.777, 28.75 meter height, loading level is 26.75 to 30. 26.75 into 30. 26.75 into 30. The load is 7.38. When we got? Where we got? Yes, here 7.38 maximum value. Okay, 7.38. So 7.39 means here is a 7.38 into 3.25 means the height difference. 26.75 minus 30. So height difference is 3.25. So at the floor 7, at the floor 28.75 meter, force is nodal point load is 23.898. Same value for the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and ground floor. All the data are the same. Force we got from here. Force we got from here. Okay. Dimension we got from this table. And height difference. Okay. So by this all the data we can find out a nodal point force. And all the nodal point force. You can write it here. So our example is completed. Our example is completed. So here is one practice question. One practice question. A multi-story brass G+6 important building of 30 meter height is having a plan dimension 20 by 20 meter, having bay width 5 meter in both directions. The ground floor height is 5 meter and all other floor height is 4 meter. Parapet height is 1 meter. Building is located at Ahmedabad under the terrain category 2. Upward slope is less than 3 degree. Estimate the wind load acting on the internal frame at nodal point. Assume the depth foundation is 2 meter. Depth of beam is 500 mm and ground beam is located at 0.05 meter below ground level. Design life year is 100 years. Right? So practice this question. If not understand, comment me. I will solve it. Okay. Next is example 2. So here is the examples, just minor changes here. Length of building 48. Yeah, here. Slope of ground is 10 meter. Okay, this is just different changes. If slope of ground is more than 3, if slope of ground is more than 3, only changes in the K3 calculation, topography factor calculation. How? You can see here. Is a theta is slope of ground more than 3? So KT calculation plus appendix. This all the data is given in the example. Height of the hill is 900. Location from cast is 200 meter windward. Okay. So by this data, we can draw one figure here. Okay. Height of the hill is 900. Okay. 9,000. Sorry, not 9,000. 900 meter height of the hill, and 200 meter from the crest. Building location is here at X. 200 meter from the crest. So by this data, you can find out effective length LE from figure. Tan theta is equal to Z by L. Z is height and length is missing. So we can find out tan theta, because you can see is a triangle here. Is approximate triangle, right? So slope is tan. So theta tan is equal to Z by L. So L value is 5104.15 meter. 5104.15 meter. Okay. Now we can find, we need this height at a building height from the bottom of the base. Okay. So you can see there is one triangle from the crest and second triangle from the building location. Okay. So H is equal to LE minus 200. LE minus 200. So here is H height. LE minus 200 means length divided by 200, because 200 from the crest. Z by LE 900 divided by effective length. So H is 864.75 meter. Okay. Now we have the topography factor K3 as equation 1 plus CS. IS 875 part 3 page 57 appendix C, right? So C is 1 by 2 Z by LE from the IS 875 part 3. Okay, page number 87. Is equation K3 1 plus CS. C value is here. Okay, 1.2 Z by LE. 1.2 Z by LE. So Z we find, LE we have. So 1.2 multiplied by 900 divided by 5104. Okay. Now we need a S. Factor S. C value we find out, we need the S value. Okay. So S we got from this graph, right? In the IS 875 we have a graph. Look at here. Here's a graph. Okay. Upwind and downwind. We need H by LE. We need H by LE and XE by LE. H by LE and XE by LE. H means height by effective length, and X means distance divided by L. Right? So H by LE, XE by LE. So H by LE is 0.169. So HE by LE 0.169 means from here, and XE by LE 0.039 means nearer to here. So these two values meet at between this 0.6 and 0.8 graph. You can see 0.6, 0.8 graph. The structure is situated on windward side. So S is 0.7. So put the value in K3 and you can find K3 value is 1.15. There is just this type of change in the K3 and any other, and the remaining all the calculations are same. Just calculate change in K3, right? If slope height is more than slope degree is more than 3, that time this type of calculation we have to conduct for the calculation of k. Okay students, once you realize that any time spent being unhappy is wasted, so be happy.